Hi, this is Brian Quarstad with Inside Minnesota Soccer, and I'm here today with Aaron Davidson, CEO of the North American Soccer League and president of formerly Miami FC, now Fort Lauderdale Strikers, correct?
Correct.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Thank you very much.
Thought maybe we could talk a little bit today. You were here for the NSC Minnesota Stars press conference today, where it was announced they will have a league-owned team and will continue to operate for, 21st, 22nd season here in Minnesota. And thought maybe we could talk today about some things about the league, but also a little bit, let's start out with Minnesota. You have worked it out so there are 8 teams. You can get sanctioned by U.S. Soccer, Second Division Soccer in the United States this year. And Minnesota's been around for a long time, but there are also some other factors involved there with backing Minnesota as far as corporate sponsorship. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Well, I think, first of all, thanks to Minnesota. It was a great turnout today, and it just firmed up our belief in the market and in what we're doing. So it was good to see, and I'm looking forward to this evening with the fan groups out here and the more community support. But with respect to corporate support, I think it's like everything. They've got to believe. Companies have to believe in the product, and the transformation of Second Division under the NASL banner. Now, in this case, with league ownership in Minnesota, should give Minnesota companies, and we know that Minnesota has a lot of Fortune 500 companies, a lot more confidence in investing in this team. We obviously have to do our work with the product on the field and with the product in the community. But we believe that Minnesota will stand to gain more corporate support as a team. And I firmly believe that as a league, we will see Minnesota companies stepping up.
That's great. Talk to me also, you brought Jordan Buchholz, who used to be here with the Thunder. You went to Austin for a year, and he's back now. And talk to me a little bit about that decision to bring him back into the team.
Well, look, as we look to stabilize Second Division and the NASL, it's clear new heightened Second Division standards. It's difficult. We've asked for them for years. It took a little longer for us to get the standards and to us to finally become an independent Second Division league, but we did it. That means there are some growing pains, and in the case of Minnesota, it is a league-owned team. And as we, for our own good, but also vis-a-vis the Federation, we are governed by the Federation. At the end of the day, we're not going to manage teams from a distance. We need to have the right management teams in place. And having someone like Jordan, who's been here in the past, who had a great learning experience in Austin, coming back to the marketplace in conjunction with a guy he worked with in the past, also Manny Lagos. A little change of roles there. This time Jordan is president and Manny's coach. But yeah, I think it's phenomenal for this marketplace to have that kind of management team in place, and we'll look to grow that team from the sales perspective now.
Right. Talk to me a little bit about the league itself. What's going to differentiate the NASL from anything that this country's seen with soccer in the past? What makes it different than MLS or USL that's been there before? What's going to make this league special? What are you trying to achieve?
Well, I think expectations need to be a little realistic, and we're not going to overblow them. I think I've always been one who likes to over-deliver, under-promise and over-deliver. The NASL is a big name, though, but everyone knows, all the skeptics out there say, how are you going to live up to the NASL name? That's not the plan. The fact that it was available and is very descriptive of who we are a North American Soccer League, and that it has a heritage is very important to us, but we are who we are. It's 2011. It's not the 1970s. So it's not going to change overnight. The overall mission of what we've stood for and what we stand for going forward is we wanted a team-owned league and team-governed league, and that's what we've got. Now, what does it mean? It's only as good as your teams and your owners around the table. Now we've got to build it, and now we're down to the core. We have 8 teams. They're not all independently owned. We have San Antonio coming on board next season and another team in 2013. We're looking for the right owners. Our expansion fees are a big departure from what they were at Second Division in the past, already, pre-sanctioning. So we know we have a pipeline at even higher expansion fees, but we will not depend on expansion fees. We cannot. That's a huge danger. If we're at 10 teams 2-3 years from now, that's not a big deal. That's where we want to be. We're not going to grow without having the right owners in the right markets at the right time. So what is NASL? The NASL is a team-owned and governed league where the owners sit around the table and make educated, intelligent decisions about the growth of soccer at this level and overall our relationships with the other leagues, including MLS and USL. How we position ourselves, the market will a little bit dictate, but we believe that the NASL, the big differentiating factor between NASL and MLS, is that we do control our players on a team level, and that's been why Traffic invested originally in the Miami team in USL. And the difference between us and USL is we're going to have owners who at a minimum meet these new USSF standards, and I would say even higher standards. So 20 million net worth, we don't even think that's enough, frankly. 20 million net worth with what it's going to take to invest in soccer in this country is not sufficient. And there are a lot of people who are worth a lot more, who love soccer and want to invest and do the right thing. So that's going to be the differentiating factor. We're not going to be the billionaires of MLS, but we will meet the standards of USSF and exceed them because we can't afford to be below them and encounter some of the issues that have plagued second division in the past.
One of the things you've talked to me before about in the league is that you would like to, it's vitally important, you've told me, to support the teams, all the teams, and because the teams are the league. And one of the things that you've gone about doing recently is hiring Michael Hitchcock, or contracting with Michael Hitchcock, PMI. Tell me a little bit about him, about PMI, what you're doing with the league and how they're supporting the teams, what that's all about.
Well, look, at the end of the day, when you are a team-owned and governed league, you make decisions as the teams. We will choose our commissioner. We will choose our employees. And because this sanctioning process took so long, it was hard during the process to get reputable prospects for commissioner and COO, especially those who usually are reputable have jobs. So if you're going to offer someone with a job, a position in an entity that's still unstable, it's difficult. Now we're a sanctioned league for all intents and purposes, and we have a lot of qualified candidates coming to the table. But it also was late in the game. We got sanctioned, provisionally sanctioned there in Toronto, November, right before the holidays. We know we're focused on one thing this season. We have one league. We don't worry about multiple leagues. We're worried about second division and second division alone. And we're worried about getting the foundation laid the right way. And that takes quality, qualified individuals around the table, in addition to the teams, to do that and help lead the way. So Michael Hitchcock comes from Major League Soccer, was at a lot of clubs there, including most recently president of FC Dallas. Comes with that history and that experience. And that's what we have to thank MLS for in a lot of respects, but not totally, for what they've done the last 15 years in preparing, as had USL as well over the years, a professional soccer business staff and personnel. Hitchcock is a reflection of that, and Hitch comes with a successful track record in selling tickets and in servicing clubs. And as we look to build a league that takes care of our clubs, Michael Hitchcock will be in helping our teams in ticket sales and in other services as clubs. He's been retained at a league level and has also been retained at several team levels.
Okay. So what specifically? So it's mainly selling tickets? Is
mainly
that
selling tickets.
Any other marketing with that, or is it mainly that's his gig?
Well, club services really is about your relationship as teams with your fan base, with your sponsors, and again, now that the teams know this is our league, they should worry more about not only themselves but the whole group. And if we engage a guy like Michael Hitchcock, everyone's got to listen to him because we're paying him. He's our guy. And I think we will learn a lot about all fronts. We really need to take care of our supporters, and that's not just the ticket buyers. It's the sponsors, it's the people in the community, it's the youth clubs in the community, so all the relationships. Is Michael Hitchcock alone the solution? No. But he is an interesting guy to bring aboard who recently left MLS, started his own consulting firm, can help us. He'll build his company to a certain extent on the back of the league, and that's great. That's what this is all about. How do we grow the pie of soccer? And he's one of the shining examples of someone who succeeded.